Hey guys, how's it going? It's Jamie, Crafty DIY Guy, and I'm back. I have got another set of very cool videos for you guys today that I'm super excited about. Now, before I get to those, I do want to tell you about a new product that I have found called Link, and this is a security camera that is indoor, outdoor, and what's super cool about this camera is that the picture quality, first of all, is amazing. Second of all, it charges two different ways. One, you've got this great battery pack that simply just snaps right onto the back, like so, and it recharges with a port that is right through there. But what's also really cool about this camera that I think is getting ready to go off is that it's got motion detection right into it, which is super cool too. That way you know if somebody is outside or somebody is approaching your house, or maybe it's even just your friend is coming over, or maybe your kids are coming home from school or from their friend's house. Also a great feature. But what is also really neat about this camera is that it is chargeable through this solar panel as well. The solar panel comes with a bracket that you literally just screw right into there, and you can mount this anywhere, and then you simply just plug this into the camera itself, and that helps keep everything charged. Now, speaking of brackets, this bracket is the bracket that comes with the actual security camera. And as you can see, you have the flexibility to really control this. This goes up against the wall. This allows you to pivot and angle that camera any way that you want it. And then you simply just tighten it up here and that camera stays locked in and solid. Also, what's super cool about this camera is that it comes with a neoprene sleeve. Now, if you're not familiar with neoprene, it's kind of like a fancy rubber, and what it does is it will actually help weather protect your camera. And what's also super cool about it is you can see this one has a built-in like sun visor on it, and what that does is that helps reflect the sun away from the camera. Let's say the sun is at a certain point and it's just blaring directly down on the camera. It's kind of like sunglasses or like a little sun visor. It will help deflect some of that sunlight. That way it's not interfering with your camera. Also, what I think is super cool about this camera is that it's less than $200. I think it retails for like $199. And you can use it indoor, you can use it outdoor. It's got a lot of different security features. And if you get an SD card and insert it into the camera, I believe it's right here onto the side, it will record and store all of your info and all of your videos. So maybe you're out of town, maybe you're at work, maybe you ran to the store real quick and you want to see what's going on when you get home. You're going to have that storage all built into that SD card. So check out the links below in the video and you'll be able to see all of the great features about this camera and maybe even buy one for yourself. Also, I wanted to say a special thank you to all of my subscribers. I appreciate you guys so much. And my OGs, of course, you're my long-term friends, and thank you guys so much for being here. And all of my newbies as well, thank you guys so much. But you know what? That's enough chat. Let's get into the video. All right, everyone, for our first project, we are going to use one of these shallow garden bowls that you can pick up from Dollar Tree. You can find these in the garden section. If you don't, or if you can't find this one, you could also use this bowl as well. Either one will work perfectly fine for this project. Now, you may notice that my bowl is a little bit cracked at the bottom, but you know what? I'm still going to use it. It's still going to be perfectly fine for this project because I am going to be gluing this down to this wood circle from the Crafter Square section. Now, you are going to be removing this twine, so I'm just going to grab my tool from Slice Products here. This is their manual cutting pen, and I love this tool so much. What I love about it is that blade is actually ceramic. It is not going to cut me. Check it out. If I used a regular blade, this would have already cut my hand up. What I also like about this blade is that it has a hole in the other end of it, and you can actually put this on a lanyard or on a belt clip. It's super, super convenient. Now we're going to go ahead and take our E6000 quick hold and just add a generous amount to that wood circle from Crafter Square, and we're just going to glue that bowl directly on top. And we're going to sit and let that sit and dry. We're going to sit and let that sit. We're going to sit and let it dry for a couple hours until it is good and solid. Now I did decide to go ahead and add in a second bowl. So I'm taking this raised candy dish that you could get in the kind of the party section at Dollar Tree. This is a plastic disposable candy dish, and I'm going to make it look very high end, spraying the inside gold. Then we're going to spray the outside of it black. And then I'm also going to spray the other bowl that we did with that shorter garden bowl with that wood pedestal on it. We're going to also spray paint that entire thing inside and out all black. How gorgeous is this together? I love this setting. I love the way it looks on the coffee table. What I also like about this is that it's super versatile. Think about how many different versions of this you could do. It would look extremely high-end and very, very expensive. And then simply add some candles, some wood pieces, some succulents, maybe even some rocks, some floating candles even maybe, and you could really make an elegant place setting for your dining room table, maybe something for your coffee table. Oh heck, why not do both? Because it's all from Dollar Tree. Another option for you would be to take that same idea and use the Rust-Oleum terracotta paint. I love the way this looks, and luckily I had enough supplies on hand to make a second bowl. Again, how perfect is this on this little side table of mine? I love it. And for my final project, I am going to be using my Slice manual pen cutter once again. And this time I'm just going to use it to help me remove the plastic from these frames. That way I can work on my little farmhouse inspired terrarium. So go ahead and take your Our Adventure bank frame first and just remove all of the insides from it. That one inside piece is going to be a little challenging to pop out of there at first, but once you get it, you'll be fine. Just set that aside because you will be using that. You'll go ahead and break the glass out of that frame. Be careful doing that, of course. And then you're just going to start to paint this and get it looking really good. But before we do that, we are going to take these frames and once again, using that Slice manual pen cutter just to remove all the plastic, you're going to take everything out of the frame. Save the glass though, because you will actually be using that. And then you will want to remove these little pegs from the frame itself. Even though you're gonna be using the glass, you don't want these little pegs to show. So just go ahead and pull those off real easily. And then I am going to be using 2 coats of my Folklore paint, and it's a chalk paint, and we're just going to try and really match up the frame to the bank or to the lower part of our terrarium. And all I'm doing is just simply adding some chalk paint. I'm doing 2 coats on each one of the frames, and then you'll notice that I am going to take that lower frame or that bank and try and match it up as well. We'll add a little bit of black, we'll add a little bit of brown paint, we'll add a little bit more white paint until we get everything really consistent and similar looking. Now, I mentioned that you would be saving the glass, and now at this point, after everything is dried, you are going to go ahead and just glue your glass back into the frame itself. I'm just adding a little bit of glue on each corner, and then after it's done, I am going to go through and just add a bead of glue kind of all around the edge of the frame, just so the glass doesn't fall out. You definitely don't want that to happen. And then for the base itself, I am going to add a bead of glue kind of along the bottom of the frame like so, and just hold that in place until it dries. And then I will repeat it on the other side and along the top, giving me a great looking little teepee. Now, I did go back and touch up that paint on that lower half. It was just a little too dark and it wasn't really matching anything very well. So I went back through with some chalk paint, touched it up. After everything dried, then I filled it with some Dollar Tree sticks and some succulents and a couple other little plants and created my own little faux terrarium. Now, obviously, this is not a real terrarium, but I think you will admit it's pretty darn cute. And it's certainly a fun way to display some faux plants and some succulents.